There are 66 books in the Bible, and I personally rank Leviticus as the undisputed champion of bad. If you want to jumpstart your deconstruction and dedicate yourself to reading unhinged barbarism so that Yahweh, the God of the Bible, may be fairly represented to you rather than a modern day watered down version, then Leviticus is a great book to read. It's great because you can read this one book and forget the other 65, as I'm sure, giving you, a complete stranger, the benefit of the doubt here that you possess some form of rationality, empathy, morality, and basic logic that will quickly decipher this for what it truly is: an ancient shitstorm of unadulterated nonsense. Let's continue where we left off and read chapter 7. Continuing here with what the scriptures say, God said to Moses, "This is the ritual of the guilt offering. It is most holy. At the spot where the burnt offering is slaughtered, they shall slaughter the guilt offering, and its blood shall be dashed against all sides of the altar. All its fat shall be offered, the broad tail, the fat that covers the entrails, the 2 kidneys with the fat that is on them, at the loins, and the appendage of the liver, which shall be removed with the kidneys. The priest shall turn them into smoke on the altar as an offering by fire to the Lord. It is a guilt offering. Every male among the priests shall eat of it. It shall be eaten in a holy place. It is most holy. The guilt offering is like the sin offering. There is the same ritual for them. The priest who makes atonement with it shall have it. So too, the priest who offers anyone's burnt offering shall keep the skin of the burnt offering that he has offered. And every grain offering baked in this oven, and all that is prepared in a pan or on a griddle, shall belong to the priest who offers it. But every other grain offering mixed with oil of dry shall belong to all the sons of Aaron equally. This is the ritual of the sacrifice of the offering of well-being that one may offer to the Lord. If you offer it for thanksgiving, you shall offer with the thank offering unleavened cakes mixed with oil, unleavened wafers spread with oil, and cakes of choice flour well soaked in oil. With your thanksgiving sacrifice of well-being, you shall bring your offering with cakes of leavened bread. From this you shall offer 1 cake from each offering. As a gift to the Lord, it shall belong to the priest who dashes the blood of the offering of well-being. And the flesh of your thanksgiving sacrifice of well-being shall be eaten on the day it is offered. You shall not leave any of it until morning. But if the sacrifice you offer is a votive offering or a freewill offering, it shall be eaten on the day that you offer your sacrifice, and what is left of it shall be eaten the next day. But what is left of the flesh of the sacrifice shall be burned up on the 3rd day. If any of the flesh of your sacrifice of well-being is eaten on the 3rd day, it shall not be acceptable, nor shall it be credited to the one who offers it. It shall be an abomination, and the one who eats of it shall incur guilt. Flesh that touches any unclean thing shall not be eaten, it shall be burned up. As for other flesh, all who are clean may eat such flesh. But those who eat flesh from the Lord's sacrifice of well-being, while in a state of uncleanness, shall be cut off from their kin. When any one of you touches any unclean thing, human uncleanness or an unclean animal or any unclean creature, and then eats flesh from the Lord's sacrifice of well-being, you shall be cut off from your kin. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the people of Israel, saying, You shall eat no fat of ox or sheep or goat. The fat of an animal that died or was torn by wild animals may be put to any use, but you must not eat it. If any one of you eats the fat from an animal of which an offering by fire may be made to the Lord, you who eat it shall be cut off from your kin. You must not eat any blood whatever, either of bird or of animal, in any of your settlements. Any one of you who eats any blood shall be cut off from your kin." The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the people of Israel, saying, Any one of you who would offer to the Lord your sacrifice of well-being must yourself bring to the Lord your offering from your sacrifice of well-being. Your own hands shall bring the Lord's offering by fire. You shall bring the fat with the breast, so that the breast may be raised as an elevation offering before the Lord. The priest shall turn the fat into smoke on the altar, but the breast shall belong to Aaron and his sons, and the right thigh from your sacrifices of well-being you shall give to the priest as an offering. The one among the sons of Aaron who offers the blood and fat of the offering of well-being shall have the right thigh for a portion." Excuse me. For I have taken the breast of the elevation offering and the thigh that is offered from the people of Israel, from their sacrifices of well-being, and have given them to Aaron the priest and to his sons, as a perpetual due from the people of Israel. This is the portion allotted to Aaron and to his sons from the offerings made by fire to the Lord, once they have been brought forward to serve the Lord as priests. These the Lord commanded to be given them when he anointed them, as a perpetual due from the people of Israel throughout their generations. This is the ritual of the burnt offering, the grain offering, the sin offering, the guilt offering, the offering of ordination, and the sacrifice of well-being, which the Lord commanded Moses on Mount Sinai, when he commanded the people of Israel to bring their offerings to the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. Glorious Yahweh, wondrous and powerful words of wisdom. At what point will anyone who possibly condones this book and this God realize they're advocating for a blood-bent, blood-driven, bloodthirsty character of stupidly written mythology? Well, that's the Old Testament. Well, you have to consider the time period. Well, you're taking it out of context. As I continually hit on, every one of these excuses, because that's all they are, is an admission of your cognitive dissonance, as you're obviously jolted by the contents, yet you justify all of it in order to satisfy this feeling of angst and turmoil inside. Among all camps, there's a natural distaste and disgust for the vile verses we've just read. And for the believers, it's a losing battle in attempting to reconcile such inanity with the innate morality that they believe the God of these very verses somehow lit within them. Among other irregularities and inconsistencies, in justifying the savagery of this grotesque God of the Bible, it should go without saying that this God is the same God from the beginning of the book to the end of the book. If you think it suddenly changed its mind or lightened up, or that through human sacrifice it suddenly was and is appeased, and craziest of all, that through this event of human sacrifice you now have gained entry to eternal bliss in heaven, if you just admit that you believe the story, is unthinkably preposterous. The only way to demonstrate this is imagining a world where this book, the Bible, didn't exist, and today it suddenly appeared in the same form as we know it. It would be laughed off the shelves by everyone as archaic, fossilized, unnecessary, meaningless, pointless, and downright putrid prose and mere words of an age of primitive man. If you'd like a wider array of obscenities, absurdities, and atrocities from the Bible, check out my book in the TikTok shop, The Holy Shit of the Bible. Sending you my love, and see you next time. Later.